In today's video, we're going to give you 5 tips plus 1 bonus that's going to make you a better shooter for life. As a firearms instructor who teaches over 1,000 students a year, I can tell you these 5 tips I use almost every day. You will increase your accuracy, you will become a better shooter, and at the end of it, that's all it's about, guys, is being confident with a weapon. If you're confident with a weapon, you will be accurate with a weapon. Here's those 5 tips. Starts with number 1 is if you're not doing dry fire. Now, dry firing is a good way to train without using a lot of ammo. You don't need to travel from your home. You can do it in another side of the house. Quick safety thing here. Remember, if you're dry firing a weapon, you need to make sure your range bag, your ammo, your magazine are out of the room in a total other side of the house, and you can work on a dry fire drills. Now, if you don't know any dry fire drills, on our YouTube channel, there is drills you need to know, and dry firing is one of them. Is a great way to spend some time understanding trigger and trigger travel. But the caveat or the tip is to dry fire like it's real. In other words, don't just spend the time, going to the range, right? You see the people at the range and you work out, and you see the people who are doing the drill or the exercise correctly, and you see the 1 or 2 people in the range or in the actual gym that are physically just doing it just to do it kind of deal. They're not really putting anything into it. When you dry fire, you need to make sure you drive that weapon out. You want to control it. You want to put the torque on it if you need to. You need to really control it like there's going to be a recoil. And this is going to help us tremendously. When we dry fire, our live fires will be almost the same grip, stance, trigger control, sight picture, sight alignment that we need to do. So number 1 would be dry fire. Number 2 is I think people try to work on too many things at a time. So next time you go to the range, I only want you to work on one thing at a time. What do I mean by that? Maybe working on grip. Make sure you get a good solid grip. Make sure you feel that grip. Maybe work on trigger. Maybe get that travel. Understand how far that trigger needs to come back. Maybe it's working on sight picture and sight alignment and recoil management. These are all things. But if you're trying to do them all at once, something's going to give, guys. So we want to really pick a drill that's going to help us work on proper trigger control or proper sight alignment or proper this or better grip or better stance. You can't focus on everything because then everything will lack. So number 2 would be pick one thing at a time to work on. Number 3, most ranges don't allow it, but if they do allow it, go ahead and videotape yourself. Get a video, get your camera, get your cell phone, get it on a tripod. You're not talking about a ton of money here, guys, but videotape your hands, videotape from behind you a little bit. All that stuff like that's going to help you see your problems, see what's going on. The whole idea of watching yourself from behind, you don't see the weapon at an angle. You don't see you bending your wrist instead of bending your waist. These little things like this helps you identify. Even if you're dry firing at home, you can still videotape yourself to watch that front of that. What I would do is videotape myself dry firing, and I would solely focus on the front of the weapon and kind of just get it out there in front of you, and then watch back to make sure that you did not have any bobbles. If the weapon is moving during the shot, if the weapon moves during the shot, that means you didn't have control. You weren't driving your chest muscles, or you were doing little fast manipulation of the trigger. So videotaping yourself live shooting or dry shooting is going to help you tremendously. Number 4, I think we need to get down into that low round count thing again. And I want you, next time you go to the range, I want you to focus on first shot accuracy. Which bullet is the most important bullet in the magazine is the first one. And we need to make sure that first one goes exactly where we want to point our sights. If we are working on first shot accuracy, well, guess what? We're not going to be shooting a ton of rounds. Matter of fact, you most likely will put one round in the magazine at a time. What first shot accuracy does for us, it gives us a understanding of how much trigger travel we need, what the proper grip needs to be, what your sight picture, what your stance needs to be to make sure that you are cutting the shot and it's impacting exactly where you're aiming. One of the greatest drills you can try, guys, is just take a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, white, no marks on it, stick it up there, get a distance that you can conquer, put it out in front of you, pick a spot, a visual spot with your eyes on the white piece of paper, and go ahead and slowly begin to engage the trigger until the weapon cuts. If the bullet impacts where your eyes are aiming, then you are not doing any manipulation at all. But if it hits below where you're aiming, you've done some pulling, jerking, or doing some kind of manipulation of the trigger, which causes a lot of our inaccuracy problems. We're doing something to the weapon, whether we're pushing, we're assuming, we're anticipating. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a pistol. Because keep in mind, guys, there's only 2 points of contact, and realistically, your right hand, if you're right-handed, can't be all the power. It's got to come from your non-dominant hand. Number 5, my recommendation would be get a training journal. Start writing this stuff down. I'm terrible about writing my journals down, but I'm great about taking pictures and videos for my students as well as for myself to see the manipulation I'm doing. And you carry your cell phone with you almost everywhere. Go ahead, get a little small tripod that fits in your range bag. Go ahead, set it up, take some pictures, take some videos, and go back and look at them. So when you're writing this stuff down, you know, okay, today I'm working on trigger only, and I can visually look at the target, and I look at my impacts, and I can see exactly what I'm doing. One of the cool things, guys, is when you start identifying your training challenges, you can fix them. If you don't identify them, you're still going to repeat the same process. And I'm going to give you a 6th one because I think it's most important and probably should be put number 1, but a lot of people don't have the money to hire a professional. But taking a training class of some kind can expose your bad habits. Even one class, a good instructor can give you good bonus tips. He can give you the proper grip, proper stance, proper trigger control, and physically see what you're doing wrong to increase your accuracy. As a firearms instructor, our job is to make you a better shooter. Speaking of being a better shooter, we actually have the master class, which is an online course for you guys that are on YouTube that can't get to me. I put a program together to make you a better shooter in 5 weeks. Each week, you're going to get a course, you're going to get a PowerPoint, you're going to get a target, you're going to get homework, you're going to be able to go to the range. Most of our stuff is set at 50 rounds. You're going to turn your homework, we're going to grade it. You're going to get to work with me for 5 weeks in the masterclass, and by the end of the masterclass, you'll be a better shooter to begin with. Like to know more about the masterclass? You can always put masterclass down in the comments below, and I'll get you the link to the class. And guys, if you're looking to get a little more education, we have our ebooks. Our ebooks are online, and you can go right through our website because those ebooks are so important to me and you guys love them, I want to give you one for free. Go ahead and pick the ebook you want. What are they about? They're about grip and stance and trigger control and sight picture and sight alignment. And they allow you to understand the full details about one thing at a time, like the trigger book or the stance book or the why I shoot low and left, and all those are popular. Now, those books are normally $3.99. They're on sale for $2.99. If you want one of those books, go ahead and put it in a cart and go ahead and mark free book at checkout, and it's yours for free. Guys, as a firearms instructor who specializes in you, I really, really, truly appreciate you watching this video. If you found some value in this video today and you feel like you want to make a comment, please do. We answer all of our comments. And if you have a friend or a family member who's having a little problem shooting, go ahead and share it with them. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line defense. God bless, guys. We'll see you.